Welcome back in, fans of the NFC West. We are back with another roundtable. With me today, we've got CG Ruthless Sports representing those San Francisco 49ers. And we also have the AZ Sports Fan representing those Arizona Cardinals. Everybody here is rocking shades except for myself. We are waiting on Steezy. We are expecting him shortly. So he'll pop in here, and we can talk about that game as well. We did get a couple of different games, NFC West versus NFC West. Not only do we have, did we have in Week 4, but we've also got that in Week 5. So we're going to get some good stuff going, not only for this one, of course, and talking about this past week that I apparently got a little too cocky on, but then we'll be going into Week 5, and maybe we'll just keep it going. I'll stay at this level where I just feel really good about the LA Rams, and I'll give you guys, I'm actually, like, spoiler alert, I'm going to give a whole little thing later on about why I think the Rams bounce back in an absolutely massive way. So as you can see, the AZ Sports Fan down here this way is rocking the number one in the West. We cannot just ignore it. It is a very real thing right now that the Arizona Cardinals not only are first place in the NFC West, but are also now the only undefeated team in the entire NFL. This is something I actually talked to my friend about. I said that, hey, man, the Rams could be the last undefeated team this week. I mean, I was almost so right, but unfortunately that did not happen. How are you feeling today, Mike? I mean, you got to be feeling great, man.
I am on top of the world, man. You don't get this very much, man. You don't get this all the time. But number one in the West, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Cardinals did it. I can't wait to talk about it, a little later on. Obviously, I'm gonna be rocking on the shades when I'm talking. I'm gonna be pulling CG today, man. I'm ready to go, dude. I'm fired up.
You are just so.
Well, I got you on the Kool-Aid back on.
Appreciate it.
I got you back on the Cardinals Kool-Aid, I guess, huh? Just because I picked them last week.
We'll talk about that later.
It was, dude. Something's going on down there. I don't know what's going on. Steezy, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm feeling great. Apologies, I literally just got done. Show
No
was
worries.
running extra late today, so I just was able to hop in as soon as I could, or as soon as I was able to. But man, how you guys doing?
Dude, doing great, man. It's good to see you. No worries on your timing. I mean, you're here now, and that's the most important part of it. But we had two games between our teams. We had a little bit of a chaos week, and not only did we have that last week, we got that this week again. Rams and Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. That's going to be awesome. And then, of course, we do have the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. That game takes place on Sunday on Fox. But I think we need to talk about these last games that just happened. We're going to start with the Rams and Cardinals because this was the battle for first place, and the Arizona Cardinals, I mean, they got it done. They did it. So from my perspective, what I'll tell you guys is the Rams went into that game feeling real good, feeling great. But I don't know what the defensive game plan was. I'm very confused at what the plan even was. Like, it wasn't to force Kyler Murray to stay in the pocket. It wasn't really to force him out of the pocket. They just kind of did what they wanted. The Rams defense just didn't look like they had necessarily a plan. They weren't trying to take out anybody specifically. They were like, Ramsey was all over the place. He wasn't just on Hopkins, anything like that. So from my perspective, I was just confused at like what the goal was with that defense. On offense, just looked a little bit sluggish, just hard to get things going, had some drop balls. Matthew Stafford really loves going to Cup, and we're seeing he does not like to go to Robert Woods. So even when Woods is open, he doesn't really like going to him so much. But we did get some comments from Sean McVay this week that he does want to get Woods more involved. So we know that when that happens, when those comments happen, usually that player does get pretty involved in the next game. But we'll talk about that next game here in a little bit. But I got to give you the floor, Mike. I got to let you pump up your cards here a little bit. Go ahead.
It's my time now, huh? It's my time.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, here we go, man. Arizona Cardinals go into SoFi Stadium, and I made this beautiful sign here probably like 5 minutes before the show. Number one in the West, and this is going to maintain, man. Honestly, I'm on top of the world right now, man. Honestly, kind of like CG said on the Kool-Aid. It's not that I wasn't on the Kool-Aid, as I needed my Arizona Cardinals to prove it to me in the fan base, and they did so. So every game that we're going to be talking about from here on out, We're going to be winning every one of them, baby. I'm not going to go ahead and say anything about my Arizona Cardinals anymore. We are legit. Now, after this game right here, man, I am happy that we beat you guys, obviously. But the way that we beat you guys was absolutely surprising. I think that if you guys maintained the run with Henderson, I think there would have been a different game. I think you guys abandoned it way too soon. I think there was your field goal. Our defense was doing that whole bend but don't break situation where it seemed like, Matthew Stafford was carving us up in the beginning. I was getting frustrated. What are you doing? Where's the pressure? Blah, 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 blah. But whenever they got into, close to, either the touchdown or they didn't get touchdowns, they're getting field goals. And that's one thing that the Arizona Cardinals did very well is we went ahead and took advantage. And we made touchdowns when we could. So I am absolutely super excited, man. Just overall, I think we did a fantastic job. Left and right, we were scoring touchdowns. Kyler Murray looked wonderful. And I'm above the world right now, man. I'm above the world 4-0. And I remember I sent a message to you during the game. just the googly eyes. Just the googly eyes.
Just the eyes emoji, which is one of my favorite things, by the way. I've had this conversation with multiple people. It can mean anything. And I knew exactly, I get that set, just the eyes. And it was like, oh, shut up.
Exactly. And you just said that little emoji and I just started cracking up. So I'm just going to keep wearing this until I get decrowned here, man, because we are 4-0, and obviously we have the best record of the entire NFL. So we're going to wear that hat, man, this whole live stream.
Yes. Yeah, that's, hey, first of all, congrats. I don't want to take anything away from that. We do have, I'll talk about it here in a little bit when we do more of our preview. But like I said, I think the Rams are going to bounce back in a big way. By the way, if you guys don't follow the AZ Sports Fan on Instagram, first of all, you're doing it wrong. That's exactly what you need to do. He posted a video on his story, the video where I was talking about how he could send me his video, his loser video, and that I would play it on the next episode. Of course, that is not how this happened. But first, before I click that video to pay my debt, first of all, we didn't announce it here, but I do want to let it be known that we do have my sponsor on one of my sponsors on my show was kind enough to let us do a giveaway. So with that, we've decided that it's going to be the winners. So Seahawks and Cardinals, we've got some decals for you guys, but you got to earn them a little bit. So we got the AZ Sports Fans got a couple, or we'll do one for now, trivia question, and we'll see those answers roll in. And if who's the first one to get the answer right, will win a decal courtesy of Shaw's Custom. So what is the first question we got here?
All right, ladies and so I'm starting, right? So my first question for the Red Sea here, and let me just first start off by saying, go ahead and put some emojis here if you're a Cardinal fan. Go ahead and put some emojis here. Give me a second here. Am I fuzzy? Am I good? We good?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. You're just a touch fuzzy, but I think it's all right.
Okay. Would you want me to come out and come back in? Because I don't want to.
If you're holding stuff up, then I think that might be the case. That might be. I'll go ahead and I'll play. I want you to see it, so I'll wait.
Okay, so here's my question. My question to you guys, and this is the trivia question. It could be anybody, but what are the total number of Larry Fitzgerald's career touchdowns throughout the entirety of his career? The total number of his touchdowns. Put it on the comments below. If you know it, then you're going to be the first winner of the, obviously the Arizona Cardinals, decal.
Hey, send me the answer in the private so that I know it. So I know who's right.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha right here. Or at least this is the number I found.
Somebody said 0.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
It's close.
Ban him.
All right. Are you going to hop out and pop back in, then I can pay my debt?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I do not see any correct answers yet. I do want to let it be okay. So one thing with the Rams and Cardinals game, because we're still going to talk about that one right now. One thing with that game is I don't know if you guys how closely you guys were watching it. Our games were all at the same time, so I don't know how much of it you guys saw, but that was not normal Rams football. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel right to me. I don't know if you guys watched it at all. If you guys experienced that at all. Much better, Mike, by the way.
Sí, comienza.
We did get one correct answer here. Let me just make sure that was the first one we had in. Oh, we did get a couple, actually. I missed the first one. All right, we've got a winner for the first trivia question of the Arizona Cardinals. That one's going to go to Mark Jackson. Send in, are we sending them to you, Mike?
Yeah, you could send.
Okay. Send your address, information, and stuff like that to the AZ Sports Fan, and we'll get that sent out to you. All right, it's time for me to pay my debt, and then we will talk about the 49ers and Seahawks game. This is my feelings to play it. All right, here we go. Paying my debts.
Play it.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Baggs. You might recognize me from, well, the video that you're watching right now. And I'm here to tell you that the Arizona Cardinals are... The Arizona... I can't do this. Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Baggs, and I am here to tell you that the Arizona Cardinals are the superior team in the NFC West going into Week 5 of the 2021 NFL season. To the AZ Sports Fan, the Arizona Cardinals fans, and the Arizona Cardinals team themselves, congratulations, first of all, on what will probably be known as the greatest win in your franchise's history. On a little bit more serious note, the Arizona Cardinals are one heck of a football team this year, and the rest of the NFC West definitely has their hands full with that offense. Kyler Murray, he's no joke. So, you know what? Good luck to the Cardinals and the rest of the NFC West teams this season. But as of today, the Arizona Cardinals are the best in the West.
Let's go. Appreciate that, man. Give him a clap, Steezy. Give him a clap, man. The winners, we got to be humble. You know what I mean? We'll get you a golf clap.
I hated all of that. Oh, man. Okay. We're going to move on here to the other game that happened between our NFC West squad here is the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks did win that game. It was a 28-21 victory for the Seattle Seahawks. So we are going to start with the winner. What you got for me, Steezy?
Man, honestly, I'm glad that we were able to bounce back. I mean, if you guys saw the first half, I thought the season was over. I mean, 5 straight 3-and-outs. We didn't get a first down until I think there was 3 or 4 minutes left to go in the first half. But it was a tale of two halves, and I'm not going to lie. Maybe Seattle did catch a couple of breaks. Jimmy G didn't play in the second half. Trey Lance, outside of that one play to Deebo Samuel in which there was a breakdown in coverage, his numbers were very erratic. At least as a passer, he finished 9 for 18. He just didn't look like he was fully ready, but what he was bringing to the table in terms of his athleticism, he had, I think, 41 rushing yards. Seattle did a pretty good job of containing him, and Seattle was finally able to make adjustments after the half. We were able to contain them. Seattle was able to finally put on some points on the board in the second half. And Alex Collins, I've been on the record saying this. He was a guy that I thought Seattle should have involved more. And honestly, right now at this point in the season, I think he's a better running back than Chris Carson, or at least he's looked better. He's looked more explosive. He's looked quicker, albeit in limited carries. And so he can only go off of, such a small sample size. But he looks like the more explosive guy. And I really thought that he kickstarted and he was able to spark this offense. He was the one responsible for our first down of the game. The defense, we started playing a lot more dime, a lot more nickel. We started getting more DBs on the field. And Sidney Jones is a huge upgrade over Trey Flowers. Statistically, it's going to look bad. I mean, I was on Pro Football Focus earlier, and I guess Jimmy G and Trey Lance, they had a combined pass rating of 158.3 when throwing in Sidney Jones' direction. And I know some of that is inflated because of that 76-yard catch run by Deebo Samuel, but the eye test was really all I needed to see. He's a lot better. DJ Reed, we put him back on the right side. He looked a lot better playing on the right side. Ryan Neal, one of our backup DBs. He used to be a backup safety. He's now playing the nickel cornerback role. He was absolutely phenomenal, had a couple of third down stops. Jamal Adams, he's been much maligned in coverage. Well, he had 2 third down stops on George Kittle, held George Kittle only 40 yards on 11 targets. So the defense really stepped it up. Russell Wilson, I think he probably had the best 149-yard passing performance I've ever seen, because he only had 149 passing yards, but he had 3 total touchdowns, 1 rushing. He was clutch as usual. And you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the game, but I think it was sometime in the third quarter. It was 3rd and goal. He was about to get sacked. And instead, he spins out of the sack and he throws that off his back foot to Freddie Swain in the corner of the end zone. And I just don't know how he did that, but I mean, he just continues to do things that not very many other quarterbacks can do. And so I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't worried. Maybe in the first half I was a little worried, but prior to the game, like I said last week, look, Seattle's backs are against the wall. They're a lot better than what the record indicates. There's just a lot of miscommunication on defense. There's lapses in coverage. Guys aren't on the same page. If they're able to get that together, this is a game that they should easily win. And they were able to get it done defensively, offensively. I saw a few sparks, and the team's getting healthier. We walked away with some injuries. Carlos Dunlap, I'm not sure if he's going to play this Thursday. Darrell Taylor might not play this Thursday, and those are our best pass rushers. And so we're kind of in trouble in that regard, but we are getting back Brandon Shell, hopefully. So, look, the most important thing is we got the victory, got the W. We were able to save our season, but we still got some more saving to do. So here's to Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be one heck of a football game. First, though, I mean, you were the winner of this one, and like we said, we do have decals. If there are any Seahawks fans here, they seem to be the least represented team in our NFC West roundtables. Steezy, looking at you for that one. But you are free to decide how you would like to give those away to Seahawks fans, or we did discuss this. If you would like to defer those to a different fan base, you are allowed to. I don't know how willing you are to do that, though.
I think for right now, I'll defer actually, just because I haven't done the best job of being able to gather the 12s here. Once I really start doing that a little bit more, then I feel like I'll be able to do something like that. But for now, I'll defer.
All right, I got you. Well, first, before we steal those away from you, if there are Seahawks fans here, please represent yourself. All right, because
shout yourself out, man.
Chances are that right now, if you just comment that you're a Seahawks fan, we'll ship you out a Seahawks decal. All right, I mean it really is that simple. But let's go to the. I hate to say the loser side, but hey, I'm on that side too. So it's the wording we're going with. CG, what you got on that game?
It's a bit of a disappointment. At some point, it has to come to an end with Seattle. But, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. Doesn't matter how bad this team is. They got the 32-ranked defense, but they were able to get the job done, and that's what matters. But the thing that makes Seattle way different than most teams is Russell Wilson has yet to lose 3 straight games. And, Jimmy happened to just not capitalize. We were doing just good. Defense got a lot better. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot better than last week, where we were just able to give up 149 yards passing, which is a huge dividend than last week. Last week we gave up a lot to Aaron Rodgers. But to give up 149 yards to Russell Wilson, I think that's a moral victory in my opinion. If we can do that against Arizona, which I think is a long shot, but who knows? But to be honestly looking into the game, I was a lot disappointed, man. We should have did a lot better, but Seattle just was able to capitalize. It's the kryptonite. It's the voodoo. I don't know why they placed voodoo on us, but Seattle just seems to have our number. So there's no comments about it. They're just the better team at this point.
Do you have an update on Jimmy Garoppolo? I saw that he did go out and he was expected to miss a few weeks, but now they're saying that he's good to go. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, what's that about?
Contusion on his calf. It's 50-50 that he can play, but at this point, why not just play Trey Lance? It's like I'm already tired of this offense. Jimmy can't even move the ball consistently. Like one drive, it's great, but then it's all shut down. Defense is already figuring them out already. They know how to contain the running game. Stop the running game. Make Jimmy throw the ball more. That's what's going to make it hard for us to come from behind. And if you just let Trey Lance play, the running game's going to get better, and you're going to be able to open up the play action. But I'm starting to realize it. I'm starting to open my eyes and say, you know what? Jimmy's just isn't cutting it anymore, man. Defense are just starting to figure out Jimmy now. So it's like, I don't know.
I am glad you finally came to this realization, my guy. I am so glad because I've been waiting for this day, man. I'm so glad it's finally here. But I know this whole injury thing, is he really hurt? I know you don't really know, but I mean, like, in your personal opinion, do you think he's hurt or do you think he like legit got benched? Like, Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, here we go, Jimmy G got benched. But like obviously after the news came out, it was like, oh, he got injured. But it's like, I don't know, man, just weird timing.
It's a calf contusion. It's kind of 50-50, but if he practices on Wednesday, more than likely he'll play. But if not, then it's safe to say that we will play Trey Lance. But I think we're probably just going to keep you guys guessing. So I don't know. So I'm just hoping maybe yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation unfolding with that quarterback situation, because I almost feel like if they are going to make that move to Trey Lance, I mean, what a sweet opportunity to just go ahead and pull that trigger and just go with Lance from here on out. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you can see, like, if they do it now, I mean, they have the excuse of, well, Jimmy was hurt and now Lance is playing, he's our future, so we're just going to keep him in, kind of thing. So if they put in Jimmy again, that will kind of surprise me a little bit, and it might give us some signs about what their timelines really are on their end here. So, yeah, we're gonna have to remove Mike from this. All right,
Wait,
so we're gonna move
Joe.
forward now. Oh, what's up? Oh, wait, I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. Just because we were talking about Jimmy G, just real quick, if I may. So CG, you said now's the time to move to Trey Lance potentially, but I just remember last week, I posed the question. Something got to give between Russ never having lost 3 in a row, Jimmy G never having lost 2 in a row. Jimmy G actually led you guys to an opening drive. You guys had a 7-0 lead for most of the first half. I mean, the offense was okay. It's not like you guys were terrible. I know he threw that interception. Seattle finally had a pick, has his first pick of the season. But what made you change your mind? I'm just curious, because I don't think Jimmy G played horribly. Like, he wasn't horrible.
Well, what makes me change my mind is the fact that after he got the drive the first time, it's been shut down. Like, we haven't been moving the ball as much. And then when it comes to 4th and 2, we should have went for it. But what did Shanahan do? He's being too conservative. You need to go with a mobile quarterback who can actually move and convert those 4th downs. You saw what you got with Trey Lance, but it's at a point where I'm getting tired of this guy. He's limited. I'll admit it, man. I face reality. Jimmy's just very limited, and you're not going to get much out of moving the ball. So it's like, yeah, the first drive, he had a good drive, and it's all been shut down. So it's like, I don't know, dude. It's like I'm at a point where I'm pretty much fed up with him.
Welcome to the rest of the world's opinion on Jimmy G, man.
100%, man. I think you were holding on because you were trying to be the faithful to your team.
Yeah.
But man, you got to give. Honestly, Jimmy G wasn't it, and we all saw it. But hey, I'm glad you're back on the Trey Lance train.
I'm pulling Al Bundy. I'm pulling Al Bundy, bro. It's at a point, man. Come on.
That's fair.
I almost forgot, though. We do have a video that CG sent in to me that we need to play for you guys. I think, by the way, we might see the sides of this, or like of ourselves, so we'll be muted though, I think. So here's CG's video. Him paying his debt to his 49ers losing to the Seattle Seahawks in Week 4.
Yo, this is CG Ruthless Sports, and I will explain to you why the Seattle Seahawks are a better team. Because Russell Wilson. Because the fact they got Russell Wilson and they are a well-coached team, they've always had the 49ers number. That's what makes them a better football team than the 49ers. It's the fact that they're kryptonites. It's like we can never get over the hump. The fact that Seattle had a 2-game losing streak, you just could never rule out Russell Wilson. There was no chance in hell he would go 3 straight losses. That's why the Seattle Seahawks are a better team. In general, they capitalize. The 49ers had a lot of chances to at least capitalize on offense. Now that you get to see a glimpse of the future with Trey Lance, then maybe there's some hope there. But the reason why the Seattle Seahawks are the better team is because we've been owned by the Seattle Seahawks. So I hate to say it, but that is the truth. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah. So there you go. There it is. I mean, this bet, by the way, hilarious and terrible.
Hilarious for me and Steezy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well,
I'm Al Bundy, bro. That's what I am. I'm Al Bundy.
It is coming. We got a comment here. Lance better get down when running against the Cards, or the Niners may be needing the third string quarterback. Yeah, it's kind of yet to be seen if we will see Trey Lance officially. But I want it to be known that, I mean, we can talk about this in the game preview also a little bit, but when a quarterback's making his first start and teams have zero tape on him, those games typically tend to go a little in favor of that offense. It's difficult to nail down some tendencies, certain different things like that. So, I mean, yes, the Cardinals defense is very strong. The Cardinals' entire team is very strong right now, but start one is always a really tough one. Does anybody have any comments on that one?
100% agree.
Yeah, I agree, man. Honestly, when it comes down to it, Trey Lance gives them the better opportunity because CG said it perfectly, man. It's if you shut down their run game, Jimmy G, you're gonna have him throw the ball. He's not the guy, man. Just like that meme, man. You're not the guy. You're not that guy. So I agree.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat from my own fan base, but let's face reality. Jimmy's just not gonna really move the ball consistently. You shut down the running game, you're not getting much production. The receivers are gonna be open at some point, but he's always misreading. And it's like, don't you guys want to realize that maybe it's just time to give the kid the chance? What do we got to lose?
True.
100%. I mean, I think it's time. I think it is time that movement gets going here. Okay, we're gonna move over to week 4 or to week 5, excuse me, and we'll go ahead and start with the 49ers and the Cardinals game. We are getting some questions on that one, so we'll go ahead and start with that one. I'm gonna go ahead. Mike's getting like the red carpet treatment, so we're not gonna start there. We're gonna go ahead. We'll go to CG. Says, 49ers report took your Niner card, and why? I'm not sure. Is that an inside joke?
I took your Niner card. Wow.
Hey, well, dude, it's at a point where Jimmy's really, dude, we're barely getting limited offense, dude. Like, you see a lot difference with Trey. I get it, but, dude, it's like I'm getting fed up with the same thing every day. You think everything's going to be all right with the same thing, but I thought Jimmy would have at least been able to manage some good games, but he's 2-2. You stop the running game, you're going to force Jimmy to throw the ball, and it's going to lead to maybe some mistakes here and there. But
True.
with Trey Lance, what do we got to lose?
Exactly.
I mean,
let's go to the game though. Specifically, this game though. The Cardinals. What are the Niners like? Because Jimmy and Trey, that's gonna be a conversation all week long with every single media outlet or anything.
Yeah, I know John Jay's messing with me. He's giving me a hard time.
Yeah. But what
giving
other
me a hard
aspects of that Niners team will give the Cardinals some trouble? You know.
What would give us trouble against Arizona is they're just a better team. They're more like kind of like a very competitive team. Nobody's giving them enough respect. Like, for quite some time, it's time for people to really give Arizona some respect. I mean, I was kind of like trashing you guys early in the season. Now that I started seeing the glimpse of what you guys are, I'm still kind of like I'm 50-50 convinced that you guys may be really good, but it's like the expectation. I do see I don't know about saying anything nice about the Hawks. You know damn sure I ain't got nothing nice to say to them. I mean, let's go by what I see out of Arizona. Arizona, they've looked a lot better. Kyler Murray in his third year, he's progressing. He's really I guess Kingsbury is kind of bit okay as a play caller. Like he's doing all right. The receivers are good. The defense has gotten better. So the chances of this being a matchup, I don't know, man. It's like I might need to roll over on this matchup. I think this is going to be unfavorable because this is a far better Arizona Cardinals team we're going to face this year with no excuses. If we play Jimmy, there's no excuses. We got to be able to establish a good passing game and a running game. If not, then it's pretty much one-dimensional. So that's what I got to say about that matchup. But, AZ, what you got to say about this matchup?
Well, hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate what you said, man. Thank you for saying that. That means the world. I mean, me specifically as a fan, I lived in a world where I puffed off my chest a little too early, and I kind of, took the bullet or I got slapped in the face by it. But I'm going to give it maybe to after the Browns game or maybe even after week 7 or week 8 to really say, hey, we might be, number one in the division or, So I know we're a playoff type of team. And I know that's what we are, but against the San Francisco 49ers, I think it's kind of perfectly laid out for us because there is that up in the air, is it Jimmy G? Is it Trey Lance? I cannot imagine a world, regardless if he's hurt or he's not hurt, the moment they start playing Trey Lance, it's Trey Lance's show. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jimmy G is done in my book. If they do play him, it's the stupidest thing Kyle Shanahan could have done. And the reason for that is because, like Joe was saying earlier in the week, man, you don't put that much capital into a a first round pick, third overall to not do that, especially when the fan base is getting frustrated because you guys are seeing the frustration level split between your fan base. Hey, let Jimmy G do it. Hey, let Trey Lance do it. But let's be honest, Trey Lance is your guys' future. But I think you guys have a better shot against us with Trey Lance. But I do think the Arizona Cardinals are on another level right now when it comes to our offense. And I think, Rams solid with, hey, you cover DeAndre Hopkins with Jalen Ramsey. We got AJ Green. You want to, try to put, like a 5'10" cornerback on him. AJ Green still has it. And then we got Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk, Max Williams, our tight end, came up clutch. Our running game, we had Chase Edmonds with 120 rushing yards. James Conner with 54, 2 touchdowns. Anything. This is the epitome of weapons everywhere. This is what this team can do offensively. And I'm so glad that we finally are at this level. We're 4-0, but we just need to play that with that 1-0 mentality. And they've been preaching it time and time again. So it's really up to the Arizona Cardinals to lose this game, but I have the Cardinals winning, obviously. I would say 35-17.
All right, Steezy, what about this game? What are you looking for on this one?
Man, I expect to see Trey Lance. Even if Jimmy G is good to go, I think that, look, the offense is stalled out in the second half pretty much every game this season. And so, they need something different. I agree with CG in that regard. And I'm a little worried about Trey Lance and his ability or inability to produce or to be the engineer of an effective passing attack. But I think his athleticism alone, and Joe, you brought it up earlier, the fact that, there's no tape on him. There's the factor of unpredictability. And I'm not just saying this because I want there to not be an undefeated team in the NFC West, but I actually see the 49ers, pulling this off. For them to lose 3 in a row, I can't, that's not something I could fathom. And the Cardinals, somebody mentioned it, free matter for the blind. The cards play down to teams if we lose. That's why. And yes, the Cardinals are a better football team than the 49ers, but it's not like the gap is huge. And every single divisional game is always going to be close. Teams are built to defeat one another. And so I just think that the Cardinals are due for a loss. You guys should have lost to the Vikings. You guys, played the Jaguars a little too close. And I just think that, San Fran are going to be highly motivated. And I think that Trey Lance, his athleticism is really going to create a lot of headaches for you guys' defense. And I don't know. I just can't see San Fran losing 3 in a row. I know thgoing through a lot of injuries, but they're too well coached. There's still talent there. And I just feel like with Trey Lance potentially starting in his first game, he's going to work some magic over there. And so despite what I said earlier, I do still like the potential that he brings to the table. And I think we see a little bit of that in this game. I got San Fran coming out on top, and I'm going to say 28 to Arizona, 26.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick my prediction after this one. Okay. All right, Arizona Cardinal fans. You guys are going to beat us 35-17. Why I say that? Because we don't have no business playing here. We are broken down. We are just broken down, but not mentally. We have nothing to lose. So the pressure is on Arizona. So that's the prediction. Sorry to my fellow faithful. Give me the heat all you want. I can take the smoke. I love y'all, but just let me be realistic.
This might be like the least confident I've ever seen. He comes in, CG's basically like, well, we're trash. So basically, for this game, you know what? There's a lot of good things to look for in this one. The Arizona Cardinals obviously off to a real hot start, real good start for the Arizona Cardinals. Clearly, that goes without saying. 4-0 start, and they're looking good right now. Steezy mentioned it though. Very close win over the Minnesota Vikings. I think we can all agree. Probably shouldn't have been a win, but whatever. It still count as a win. So the Jaguars needed to kind of come back on the Jaguars there a little bit. The LA Rams going into SoFi and doing what they did to the Rams, I think that was absolutely huge. But also, I mean, I feel like that was one of those games where the buildup was just very real. That was like the Cardinals going into that game against the Rams, who were playing really well, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the week before. I kind of feel like they are in a situation for a letdown. I'm going 49ers in this game as well. I don't think it'll be a very dramatic difference in the score. I think it'll be a close game, probably 3-4 points. But because I do think that I don't think Kyle Shanahan is dumb enough to start Jimmy G ever again. I think this is Trey Lance's team now, and because of that, I do think first-time quarterback starting. I think that's a very real thing, and not to take anything away from the Arizona Cardinals, because that's definitely not the goal. They got one heck of a squad this year. But, I mean, let's not pretend like the Rams just didn't play a bad game, all right? So I think you got the Cardinals playing a good game and the Rams playing a bad game, and that's where you get a 17-point game in that situation. So I am going to go with the 49ers in this one, in a close one. So we got 2 for the Niners and 2 for the Cardinals. Mike, I feel like there might be a little bit of a comment on that.
No, I see it coming. Honestly, I think we knew as a fan base, the Arizona Cardinal fan base, we knew that we were going to get people that were going to say the Rams lost because of this. It's everywhere, and we're used to it, so it's completely fine. We'll see what happens next week. 5-0, let's go. I'm going with that 1-0 mentality, but hey, it's all good, man. It's all good in the hood.
I feel you. All right, moving on to Thursday night football. We have the LA Rams heading up the coast to play the Seattle Seahawks. And these games, I've loved the Rams and Seahawks matchups. I mean, ever since probably 2004, these have been games that I always look for exactly where they're at on the schedule, if they're primetime, anything like that. Rams didn't get a lot of primetime games for a little gap there. We were awful. So, but this game is it'll be on Fox Thursday Night Football, so it's coming up here just in a couple of days. But I had just a couple of numbers here that I wanted to go over for you guys. I'm going to have to look over here on my screen. But this is, since Sean McVay has arrived, what we've seen is a huge win by the Rams and then a complete letdown followed by bringing it back. So 2017, that game the win was the Dallas Cowboys. And that was really the game where the entire team felt like, okay, this is a real thing. We can win. Lost to the Seattle Seahawks the week after that, then bounced back for a big win over the Jags. The next season, 2018, I'm actually going to point to the NFC Championship game. Very big win, very emotional win for the Rams. Obviously, a huge letdown in the Super Bowl. We move over to 2019, the Chicago Bears game, actually. 2018, the Rams beat the Bears, held the offense to only 6 points. And then so the Rams defeat the Bears. That was a big talked-about game leading all the way up into it. And then they got absolutely smoked by the Baltimore Ravens, 6-45 the next week. Bounced back after that with a win against the Cardinals. And then last year, 2020, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Tampa Bay, winning that game 27-24, and then losing to the 49ers, but not just the 49ers, the Nick Mullins 49ers, okay? And then a big bounce-back win again over the Arizona Cardinals. So that is just the trend that I've given you, and we see it this year, 2021, the Rams defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a big win at home, defending Super Bowl champs, their first loss since Thanksgiving last year, and then come in just honestly looking flat, not looking too strong against the Arizona Cardinals. Not even sure what the hell the defensive game plan was in that one. Matthew Stafford just kind of looking okay. So I'm feeling good. Not only that it's we can bounce back historically speaking under McVay, but also on a short week, get that bad taste out of our mouth, man, against the Seahawks. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game, but the Seahawks last week, I mean, they showed us quite a bit. They showed some fight for sure, and from that, the week 2-3 range, it was a big difference in the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to give the Rams the win in this one, but I do think it'll be a tight game. These games are these games specifically, Rams Seahawks tend to be pretty close. We'll go over. Actually, CG's got to leave here in a minute, so we'll start with CG, and then we'll hit down to Steezy.
All right, this is a coin toss because Thursday night it's one of these weird games, but my gut feeling does say that even though the Rams are good, I kind of see them going through a slump. For some reason, I don't know why. Like, usually when you lose that one game and you have a short week, it's a bad thing. So, man, I really want to pick the Rams, but why is it telling me that the Seahawks are going to win? It's punching me right in the gut. So it's telling me that the Seahawks are going to win 28-21. I don't know why. It's just really gut-wrenching I want to pick the Rams, but the Seahawks are just the team that just like I did with the Cardinals last time. So I got to pick Seattle.
So is that a good thing for the Rams then, or a bad thing for the Rams?
Well, all it takes is one loss, and then a short week is not a good thing for the Rams, and especially when you're playing at Seattle. That's tough, bro. So I don't know. It's kind of like you guys are going to go through a slump for a little bit, and then you're going to get it together the following game. So I just think Seattle's on a short week. They got a one win gives them momentum, and then it turns it around quickly. So you never know how these short weeks are.
I mean, before we head over to Steezy, I will say though that even like the worst Rams team ever play the crap out of the Seahawks. I mean, we always get close games, no matter who's good, who's bad, whatever. So for that reason, I feel at least decent that it'll be a good game. But we'll go down to Steezy. CG, before you leave, we'll definitely get a goodbye for you, so don't just bounce.
Okay, so for me, here are a few stats I want to talk about. So in the Rams' favor, here's some stats. They're 3-1 on Thursday Night Football under Sean McVay. They're 5-1 coming off of a loss. And in the last 8 matchups against Seattle, you guys have won 6 of them. Now in Seattle's favor, Seattle is 11-5 on Thursday Night Football. Seattle is 23-2 in home primetime games under Pete Carroll. And in all-time primetime games under Pete Carroll, home or away, Seattle is 33-6-1. But despite it being a short week, I might have to go with the Rams. I know Seattle has, they've done their part to right the ship. But, man, there's a couple of key guys that got injured. The ones that I talked about earlier, Carlos Dunlap, Darrell Taylor, our 2 best pass rushers outside of Jamal Adams, might not play. Brandon Shell, our starting right tackle, I expressed optimism about him playing, but there's still an off chance that he doesn't play. So missing all those guys, I mean, I know we're playing at home. I know we have some confidence. I know we've got back some of our mojo, but I know the Rams are going to be coming in highly motivated. I know coming off of that blowout loss to the Cardinals, I know it was only the final score was 37-20. So you guys only lost by 17, but I mean, with a couple minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, it was 37-13. Yeah, it was 37-13, and there was a garbage time touchdown to Robert Woods that kind of made his numbers look a little bit better. But I don't know. I do like I liked what CG was talking about earlier. He was talking about how he could see the Rams getting to a little slump and whatnot. Who knows? Maybe the short week is actually a bad thing for them. Maybe they're fatigued and traveling to Seattle, a very hostile environment. It could really go either way. It's a toss up. If I'm a bettor, I'd advise you to stay away from this game. I mean, honestly, anything can happen. But Seattle will win if they're able to perform any of these 3 keys, or at least 2 of my 3 keys. So number 1, key in on Cooper Kupp. I feel like whenever Cooper Kupp plays against Seattle, he's just always going off. It's always 100+ yards. He's always doing his thing, right? But I don't know. Maybe what if last week Arizona showed us the game plan to potentially stop or at least hinder this Rams offense? 13 targets. He only caught 5 of those for 64 yards. Robert Woods didn't get involved until late. Tyler Higbee was okay. Deshaun Jackson, he was targeted a few times. Matthew Stafford's interception was towards Deshaun Jackson. Van Jefferson, he's been a little bit hit or miss. But I just feel like if we can key in on Cooper Kupp, kind of maybe bracket coverage, use bracket coverage, double coverage, whatever it is that we need to do to get him out of the game early, I think Seattle has a chance. If we run the football a little bit more and kind of get that time of possession into our hands, we'll win the game. Alex Collins, we finally started to use him. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like, there have been times this season in which he's been a lot better at running back than Chris Carson, and we saw that against San Fran. He was the spark. He was the jolt. He gave us our first first down, and he had a touchdown in that game. He just looks a lot more explosive. So if we do that, run the football, and then number 3, run a lot more up-tempo. Like I said, fatigue could be a factor, and so Seattle's offense didn't really get going until Seattle started running more up-tempo. After the 5th straight 3-and-out, Russell Wilson came up to Shane Waldron and talked to him, and they were talking about how, hey, let's run more up-tempo. And from there on, I mean, the offense looked totally different. It was a tale of 2 halves. And so maybe use that against the Rams. Like I said, they're traveling to Seattle on a short week in a hostile environment. And so maybe you want to start off the game with some up-tempo, really get those guys, tired and on their feet. and keep them from subbing out. And then I don't know how much of this is going to help, but, maybe Shane Waldron knows a thing or two about how to play against the Rams. After all, he did come from over there. And so maybe that's somewhat of a hidden advantage that Seattle might have in its sleeve. Who knows? But if Seattle's unable to do any of those things, I have a hard time seeing Seattle win this football game. Falling to 2-3, I guess I wouldn't be super disappointed about that. We've been, below 500 before. I still have confidence in Seattle winning. I can't definitively say with 100% confidence that, oh yeah, my pick is Seattle. That's why I'm going with the Rams. But I just feel like maybe we can use that as motivation to, get you guys back when we travel to LA later in the season. But for now, I got to roll with the Rams. Right now, I just can't give Seattle the benefit of the doubt until they're able to pull it off against you guys. So final score, I'm going to say it's going to be somewhat of a slugfest. I'm going to say Seattle 24, LA 24, Seattle 21.
All right. Actually, and you're talking about keys over here, and those are all very good keys. But, I mean, on the flip side of that, for the Seahawks, I guess I'll sell this in a Seahawks way because I'm talking about this on Rams Showcase tomorrow from the Rams perspective. But for the Seahawks specifically, one thing is that the Cardinals did extremely well, way too well, was convert third downs. And the Seahawks have not been good at that this year. If they can do that, that's going to be the biggest key here. I mean, you even had a situation where the Rams could have declined a penalty and kept it at fourth down, took the penalty, pushed it back to the third and 13, and then they pick it up, or third and 14 or whatever. So that's going to be a huge one is converting third down.
And real quick too, bro, just because you said that, Arizona is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Arizona is actually worse than Seattle this season in terms of converting on third down. Both teams are hovering around the 37-36% mark, and so it's not like there's a huge gap. But, I mean, if Seattle's also able to convert on third down, like you said, I mean, that could cause problems for that Rams defense. Another thing that I kind of noticed was, look, your guys' defense has regressed just a little bit. Outside of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, I mean, obviously you guys are top heavy. And so when other guys are being targeted or when other guys are in focus, then, the defense just doesn't look as good. I mean, over 400 yards of total offense against the Cardinals. And I know it's the Buccaneers, but in the past 2 weeks, you guys have allowed almost 1,000 yards just in 2 games. And so, that's something that has to be fixed. If Seattle's second half offense shows up, it could be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say necessarily top heavy. I do like our depth there, but yeah, you're right. It's a soft defense right now. Sports fan, what do you got for us on this game?
I'm excited about this. This is gonna be a very good game, but just short and simple, I do have to give it over to the Rams, and I do think that they are a better team than they showed out in versus us. I just think that it was we played you guys very, very well. But I do think you guys have that bad taste in your mouth. You guys came off a high versus the Bucks. You came here. I don't know. I kind of felt like there might have been a little like, oh, we're on top of the world type of stuff. And then the Arizona Cardinals really punched you guys in the mouth. And then they were like, oh, here we go. And I think that's kind of how it was played out. But I do think the Arizona Cardinals did very well, not to take anything away from them. You wouldn't see a 37-13, and I'm going to stick with 13, at the fourth quarter or late towards the fourth quarter type of score if the Arizona Cardinals didn't do an amazing job. So I do think the Rams will pull this off. Seattle will obviously be in the game. It's not going to be something crazy like that. I'll say 35-28. Russell Wilson tries to go ahead and, get the win by the fourth quarter. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think the Rams are going to be able to pull off the win.
Yeah, should be a tight game either way, but yeah, I think you're right that the Rams kind of maybe flying a little high after that Bucks win, feeling real good. Everybody's Rams are number one in every ranking you're looking at, all this stuff, and then the Arizona Cardinals come to town, and the Arizona Cardinals were like, okay, they came ready, and I think the Rams kind of came in thinking that they were just going to kind of win the game. So. And like I said, in my examples, we've seen that historically. We've seen this Rams team do that a lot. I think we even went into the Super Bowl that way. I think winning that game against the Saints even was like that. That's something that McVay's going to have to correct. And I think that is something that can happen going into this game. Either way, going to be a big one. We have taken a lot of time here tonight, but I do want to give some more details away. I did see, by the way, Steezy, that Josh commented that he'll just send you some. So you can either, put some stuff on your own things, or you can do your own giveaways, which is cool too. That's kind of how I take it is I get stuff in and I just give it away. clearly have plenty of Ram stuff here, so we're good. But the AZ Sports fan, if you want to knock out 2 questions and leave me the answers in our private chat, then I'll find some winners here real fast so we can all get out of here and get ready to watch the Rams beat up on the Seahawks, apparently.
Sounds good, man. So, yeah, we got 2 more questions here for trivia. Guys, you guys can win an Arizona Cardinal decal. I'm not quite sure how it looks like, but we are giving 2 more away. The first winner was Mark Jackson. So definitely hit me up on Instagram and just send me your address where you want us to get sent to. But my next one I have for you is going to be, give me the number 1 running back in 2008 in our Super Bowl run. Give me the name of the running back in 2008 in our Super Bowl run.
This is not the answer, but I thought it was funny. So.
Love it.
No correct yet.
2008.
We do have one answer, but it's not what you wrote, so it's not it. We have a
We have a Rams guy.
What happens now?
Right.
All right, I'm gonna try to. Well, now everybody has the answer, I guess, because we are literally like, "Oh, Rams guy got it."
Right.
So
I didn't even see that.
I'm gonna let a Cardinals fan just take that answer. Pale, I got you though, man. Send me your address. I got you on some other stuff.
Okay. So let's go with because there was some other running backs within that as well. I'll take Bass Hightower. He was a part of the running back core. If that's cool with you.
Let's see here. Where? Okay. You're talking about this? Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I will accept that too because he wasn't they were a part of. I would say 2008. I'm not sure. It may be blanked out because people are putting 2015 on here. They're putting Ellington and stuff like that. That's.
Oh.
Close.
Yeah,
Very close.
Yeah. So Bass is cool. That would be the winner. I have one more question for you guys, and let's kind of see if we can get this rolling here. Which player wore the number 16 in the 2000 season? Which player wore the number 16 in the 2000 season for the Arizona Cardinals? And
You're definitely going to have to send me the answer. I don't know.
There we go.
You know what? I thought that's who it was. We're going to go to the first Cardinals one. Other Rams fans are answering again.
They're all chiming in.
Yeah. All right. So we got another winner here. Make sure you guys send in your address to the AZ Sports fan, and we will get that sent out to you. Josh, nice try. You cannot win.
If you guys don't add me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Send me a DM and say, hey, I won. And then just go ahead and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Shout out to Dominic, by the way. Appreciate you being here, man. Big supporter of Ram Showcase. Okay, so before we hop out of here, I know we're all like, we've taken a lot of time here, but because Steezy wanted to pass along his, I was trying to think of a trivia question real fast. That's hard.
Seahawks trivia?
I was trying to think of a Rams trivia question so I could steal one of yours. I might have one saved here. Okay. The Rams have not had a first-round pick since 2016 when they took Jared Goff first overall. What is the latest first pick the Rams have ever had in the draft? Hard question.
Wow.
The latest first pick. So in one draft, no Rams taken until the latest possible spot. What is the latest Rams player was drafted? You can give me the year even, although I'll take that because that's a tough question. It is not Tutu Atwell or AD. I'll tell you this, it's not that recent. We're not getting any answers yet. So, man, okay, I got to say, though, okay, so Steezy and myself, we have this game Thursday. We are going to keep our bets, okay? We're just going to keep that being a thing because that was really fun. So I'm hoping that I don't have to do 2 in a row. That would be.
I think people were confused by your question.
I don't know how to word it otherwise.
What are you trying to say? What was the first round pick before?
No. It's like the latest in one draft. What was like the first pick that the Rams had? But like do you guys know what I'm saying? And how to
in this last NFL draft, right? This last draft?
Not this last draft. No, in any draft, what's the latest they had? I don't know if that makes any sense. All right. Okay.
So, for example, is it, let's say in 2009, they had the 31st overall pick. Would that quantify?
Maybe my question makes no sense.
I'm confused too.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the answer here. So the latest first pick that the Rams have ever had in the draft, it's just the furthest back they ever were for their first selection in the draft, if that makes any sense.
So it could have been in the second round.
Oh, could be. Yeah, it could be pretty deep, actually.
Or could have been the third or fourth.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, I see what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're asking. Yeah.
But do the chat.
No, I guess not.
People are starting to understand it, I think. I got to try to find a way to word that, I think. Ooh, you know what? I've got a different one. We're just going to keep trying, I guess.
Lifeline, please, lifeline.
So, yeah, I'll just give you the answer. It was actually pick 133 in 84.
Man.
That was the first pick that the Rams had in 84 was pick 133. Hal Stevens was a defensive end.
Sheesh.
Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I'll just use this one. I teased this one last week on the show. What was the first game, or what year was the first game that the Rams ever played in the city of St. Louis? That's a great question, by the way.
It is. I just want to shout out Joshua. Says, Joe, you're not allowed to ask any questions anymore.
Yeah. I agree, actually, because that one, it just didn't make any sense. All right, let's see if I don't see any correct answers yet. Keep them coming, guys, and then you'll get a decal, okay? Otherwise, we're going to have to just cut you guys off, and then we're all going to live our lives. I'm going to get the exact date here on my screen. Do you guys know what it is?
I didn't hear the question. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, daydreaming, man.
It was what year was the first Rams game? In what year did the Rams play their first game in the city of St. Louis? It's a little bit tricky with the wording of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Peo caught it. He said, "Oh, this is a trick." Man, I'm disappointed in you guys because this means that nobody listens to my show super hardcore because I definitely just gave that answer on the show last week. All right, I'm giving you guys like a minute, and then I gotta go.
Right.
Don't see any yet.
Just start
Somebody
spamming
has to
years.
know this.
No
Where
hints.
Rams fans at?
That's what I'm saying, man. Honestly, okay, I'll give one hint. Where are the Cards fans at?
They're here.
Oh, I know. I knew that they would blow this episode. All right, guys, I'm about to give you guys the answer because I gotta go. All right, here's the answer, guys. I don't see it in here. The first time that the Rams played a game in St. Louis, it was the Los Angeles Rams at the St. Louis Cardinals. That game took place December 5th, 1965. Nobody wins.
Oh, wow. That's,
Yeah.
whoa.
Sheesh.
Are my questions too hard?
I believe
That's pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, mine were like, what type of cereal do you like? Like, that's my question. Like, You're
Yeah,
going like
yours is
what's
definitely
happening?
on the higher end in terms
Yeah.
of the difficulty.
You want them to earn that decal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think? This isn't charity. This isn't UNICEF. This is Rams Showcase. All right, guys. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of here. We'll do another giveaway. We'll do this giveaway on Rams Showcase. So if you guys want a decal, watch this week's episode of Rams Showcase. It will be releasing maybe tomorrow night if I can get it done in time. Most likely, it will be for sure though Thursday morning. Make sure you guys subscribe to everybody. We got Steezy A Smith, the AZ Sports fan, CG Ruthless Sports, who had to go back to work, so he's not with us anymore. And make sure you guys subscribe to Rams Showcase as well. Guys, until next week, Steezy, good luck to your boys on Thursday. AZ Sports fan, hope you guys beat up on the Niners, all right?
We will.
Hey, may the best team win, Joe.
Absolutely, man. This is going to be some good stuff,
Sure.
man.
And that still applies, you said, right? We're going to be getting a video, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
I'm
forward
so
to it,
glad I'm
Joe.
going to do 2 in a row. That's all.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace, guys. Go Rams.
All right, y'all.